In the grand scheme of human existence, the consequences of sins differ, with some bearing more severe outcomes both in our earthly life and in the afterlife. The Bible offers deep insights into the serious nature of leading others astray, particularly highlighted in Matthew 18:6. This verse underscores the severity of causing someone to stumble in their faith, suggesting it would be better for a person to be drowned in the sea with a millstone around their neck than to lead a believer into sin. By examining biblical teachings on sin, repentance, and the lasting impact of moral failures, we gain a deeper understanding of the weight of our actions and their repercussions. Exploring Jesus' teachings on lust provides significant insights often missed. Jesus' approach to this topic, as seen in Matthew 5:27-28, emphasizes that sin begins in the heart. While the Mosaic law condemned the act of adultery, Jesus pointed out that even harboring lustful thoughts equates to committing adultery in one's heart. This teaching underscores the importance of inner purity and the necessity of controlling our desires and thoughts, not just our outward behaviors. According to Jesus, the seventh commandment against adultery encompasses not only physical actions but also impure thoughts and attitudes. This concept is further supported by Old Testament practices where impurity, whether ceremonial or moral, required cleansing. Jesus' emphasis on purity highlights the need for a clean heart and mind, aligning with the broader biblical call to holiness in all aspects of life. The metaphorical phrase, making a covenant with our eyes from Job 31:1, emphasizes the necessity of safeguarding oneself against impure thoughts. This commitment to moral purity extends beyond just avoiding lustful looks. It encompasses all behaviors and senses that might provoke such desires. By doing so, individuals uphold a higher standard of ethical conduct and spiritual integrity. Some may find it difficult to live up to this ideal, yet Jesus' teachings on dealing with temptation remain pertinent. He advocated for drastic measures to avoid sin, highlighting the dire consequences of moral failure. His call to action underscores the importance of addressing sinful desires at their root to prevent them from evolving into sinful behaviors. Jesus' words remind us that true moral purity begins in the mind, and it is crucial to maintain inner sanctity to avoid transgressions. Jesus' warnings also extend to the influence we have on others, particularly concerning causing others to sin. In Matthew 18:6, he highlights the severe repercussions of leading fellow believers astray. This teaching emphasizes the gravity of personal accountability, especially in the context of community and relationships. Jesus uses hyperbolic language, such as cutting off a hand or plucking out an eye, to illustrate the extreme measures sometimes necessary to maintain moral integrity and prevent sin. In the book of Revelation, Jesus condemns the figure known as Jezebel for leading others into immorality, drawing a parallel to the notorious queen from the Old Testament. This Jezebel symbolizes individuals who propagate sin within the church, demonstrating how sin can corrupt a community from within. The insidious nature of sin, beginning with thoughts and desires, requires vigilance and proactive measures to combat. This underscores the importance of not only avoiding personal sin, but also preventing the spread of immoral influences. Paul's teachings in 1 Corinthians 6:12-13 further highlight the importance of self-control and sanctification. He likens temptation to hidden rocks in a harbor, necessitating constant vigilance to avoid spiritual ruin. Fleeing from immorality and prioritizing spiritual health are essential practices for maintaining moral purity. Reflecting on the severe consequences of leading others into sin reinforces the need for personal accountability and the broader impact of our actions on the community. While all sin leads to judgment, the responsibility of not causing others to stumble carries significant weight and should be a sobering reminder of our influence on others, enabling sin and its consequences. The Bible offers profound insights into the nature and consequences of sin, which can manifest in various ways, affecting both individuals and communities. Central to the concept of enabling sin is the idea of complicity supporting or ignoring wrongdoing, thereby allowing it to continue. In modern contexts, enabling sin can be subtle, such as turning a blind eye to a friend's immoral actions, justifying sinful behavior, or actively participating in activities that lead others astray. The Apostle Paul warns about the influence of bad company on one's morals, stating, "Do not be deceived, bad company ruins good morals." 1 Corinthians 15:33. This highlights how companionship can impact one's ethical conduct. However, it is essential to remember that every individual is ultimately responsible for their own actions. External influences are significant, but the condition of one's heart and personal choices are crucial. Jesus emphasized this by teaching that sin originates from within the heart and defiles a person. Matthew 15:18-19. This underscores the personal nature of sin and the importance of inner purity and individual responsibility. The story of Jezebel in the Bible serves as a powerful warning against the dangers of spiritual adultery and the influence of ungodly leaders within the faith community. Jezebel, the notorious queen of ancient Israel, epitomizes seduction, manipulation, and idolatry, bringing ruin to herself and those she led astray. Her actions are detailed in 1 Kings 16:31-33, where she is described as introducing the worship of Baal, a fertility god, in direct opposition to the worship of Yahweh. This led to widespread apostasy and moral decay, undermining the prophetic ministry of God's servants like Elijah, as described in 1 Kings 18. Jezebel's impact was profound and destructive, as she actively worked to replace the worship of Yahweh with that of Baal. Her promotion of idolatry and efforts to subvert the prophetic voices in Israel, such as seen in 1 Kings 21:25, resulted in a spiritual decline among the people. Her strategy centered on encouraging spiritual adultery, which in biblical terms refers to forsaking one's covenantal relationship with God for the pursuit of false gods and worldly desires. This concept is vividly illustrated in Hosea 1-3, where Israel's unfaithfulness to God is likened to marital infidelity. Jezebel's enticements led many to betray their commitment to Yahweh, disrupting the spiritual foundation of the nation and jeopardizing its divine destiny. Jezebel thrived in an environment of moral compromise and spiritual apathy, exploiting people's vulnerabilities by offering false promises of power and prosperity. This exploitation is reminiscent of the broader biblical theme of temptation leading to sin, as seen in the accounts of Adam and Eve in Genesis 3, and the Israelites' recurring idolatry in Judges. Her seductive allure blinded many to the truth, drawing them into a web of deception that ultimately led to destruction, much like the warnings found in Proverbs 7 about the seductive woman leading men astray. In summary, the story of Jezebel provides critical lessons on sin, repentance, and divine judgment. By reflecting on these biblical narratives, believers can gain wisdom and discernment to navigate the complexities of life. Through sincere repentance and steadfast faith, individuals can resist the temptations of sin and achieve spiritual victory, aligning themselves with God's will as emphasized in James 4:7-10. This path of repentance and faith leads to spiritual growth and deeper communion with God, offering hope and redemption amidst the challenges of human existence.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.